Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining the channel. I am Monique Carlisle, your business automation and business coach specialist here at Midas Web. We come on every day at 12 noon Central to talk about business strategy, tips, tricks, strategies, ideas to help grow your business. After we talk about a great strategy, we then use AI to fulfill that strategy, whether it's ChatGPT, Leonardo AI, or Canva. We are going to hop into AI and do some work. Then we take what we've developed with ChatGPT or other AI tools, and we then automate it within our platform. So here at Midas Web, we are resellers of the high-level platform. So if you are joining us for the first time, we are going to discuss how to implement great business strategies to automate and scale your business. Afterwards, do join us at open office hours to ask your questions, talk about business, and get some good tips and advice and strategies, and we can talk specifically about what your needs are. That happens immediately after every live session at 12:30 Central Time. Click the link below to see that and register for that Zoom link. Today we are talking about follow-up. So follow-up is a hot button phrase in business, right? Fortune is in the follow-up. You have to have a really good follow-up process in order to secure clients. Why is this? Well, if you look at statistics, when you go out to meet people, not everybody is in that buying phase. So let's look at the customer journey. They have to be aware of you. They have to research you. They have to make a decision, and then they got to actually pay for whatever product service they've chosen. Only in that last stage, that I'm ready to pay, are they going to become a client. So your job is to keep in touch with them and continue building that accountability and trust and relationship. So when they do make it to that buying phase, you are top of mind. That's what follow-up is for. Now, yes, you're going to find some people that are actively looking for a solution, and they find your business and they want to do business with you right away. Yes, awesome. You still need to follow up with them afterwards to make sure that your products and services have fulfilled their needs, and do things like upsell, offer other products and services, offer support if you have a support-driven business. But we're talking specifically about following up until that client making stage where they actually exchange money with your business. So let's say you meet somebody, whether you meet them at networking or you meet them with through an ad that you put online, or you have a lead magnet that you've put out and you're sharing that actively through your email marketing, all of those things. You want to get them into your business and into some sort of system where you're following up. Let's say it's a lead magnet. You're sending them a tip sheet, 5 tips for making this part of your life better, more efficient, more awesome, whatever it is. And once they receive that, what do you do afterwards? Do you send them an email? Do you send them a text message? Do you call them and say, hey, I saw that you put this, you asked for this tip sheet. Is it useful? Is it helpful? What questions do you have? All of those pieces are follow-up. You need to have a system in place. You could use an automation system like we have, or you can send them manually. Manual makes it a little harder. You have to make sure you know who downloaded your tip sheet and then follow up with them. What are some ways that we can do this? Well, set calendars. So one way that you can follow up, especially if you've met them and they're not ready to buy, is book that follow-up right then and there. Before the meeting is over, ask, when is a good time to reach back to you? Especially if they say, not yet, not right now, I need some time to think about it, I need to bring in other people to this meeting. Awesome. What can we put on the calendar, whether it's a week from now, 2 weeks from now, even 3 months from now? You want to have that commitment. That is accountability for you as the business owner and for your client. And it tells them that you are responsible and that you want to keep in touch with them. You are going to have the few that are like, I don't want to set a date right now. That's your choice on how to handle that. There's many different ways. You can create a calendar reminder for yourself to follow up with them in 3 months. You can put them into your nurture campaign. You can pass them to a VA to follow up in 3 months. There's a lot of different things you can do. So you want to book that appointment on the calendar right away. The next thing that you're going to want to do is be in touch with them with value added information. So this is where nurture campaigns come into play. Typically, these are emails. Now, your emails that you send when you're doing follow-up is going to be high value and low sales. So all you're doing is, here's another tip for you. Here's another strategy. Here's another idea. You just keep pouring value out that shows your expertise, and it keeps you top of mind because you keep coming into their inbox. Email has the highest ROI of any other marketing effort. So go out, send those nurture emails. Make sure you're providing that value. And if you aren't sure what to provide, ask ChatGPT. They have it has lots and lots and lots of suggestions for you. We'll look at that in a second. Another part of follow-up is the actual phone call, the text message, or regular phone call that you need to be making. Whether you follow up with them the day after, a week later, a month later, you set up your systems to have that follow-up. But again, you want to have that system. Use calendar reminders, tasks, get out your paper notebook and calendar and write in, follow up with this person, this person, this person. You can do it by hand. You can do it manually. We're going to show you the automation system. So today's use case this week, we're going to talk about roofing, just because it's fun. We're going to just talk about a roofing company and following up on that. So we're going to jump into ChatGPT and go ahead and build out a very quick nurture follow-up campaign. And specifically, this is one thing that I worked on over the last few days that I'm excited about, is building a follow-up chat bot, building something that will text them and follow up with them. So we're going to jump into building what's called conversation AI in the high-level platform. And so without further ado, let's get started. We're going to jump into ChatGPT first. And the first thing we want to do, because we are building a chat bot, we have gone through creating email nurture campaigns at a previous training. So please check out those videos. Today, we're going to specifically talk about a chat bot. So chatbots are great for qualifying and for booking appointments and answering general questions. So I want to ask ChatGPT, what are some general questions that a roofing company might get from a new prospect? So as always, start with the role. Act as a master roofer with 20 years experience. What are some questions and objections you get from new prospects looking for a roofing company? All right, I'm going to let it work. We're going to ask it a couple of questions and we're going to build out some content. As the expert, you're going to want to come in and read through and make sure that what it's saying is accurate for your business and it's accurate for your industry. So you are still the expert here. Okay. All right, let it finish working. And then the next question we're going to ask ChatGPT is, let's see, they already did objections, right? Okay, so they did objections, they did questions. Awesome. What are some great questions that will qualify the prospect to work with a roofing company? Now, this is where you would put in your own proprietary data. Do you take insurance? Do you not take insurance? Do you only work with subdivisions? Do you only work with a certain type of roof, with a certain type of pitch? Do you specialize in those surrounded by trees? Anything like that? Do you specialize in damages, in roof inspections? roof replacement. Those are the kind of things that you'll throw into your GPT to tell it, how do I qualify this prospect for my roofing? And I do XYZ. So let's say I'm going to change this to to make it a little more personal. My roofing company that specializes in inspections and replacements after a storm. We just had a storm come through, so that's still heavy on my mind. Okay, now we're going to let it run through. We're going to take all of this information and we're going to do one more thing with ChatGPT. We're going to jump into the automation. I'm going to show you how to build conversation AI. All right, so it's going to build out my questions. And the last thing I want to do is I want to ask it to create a personality. The reason is because in conversation AI, you want to give it a personality. This is really important and helps differentiate different chatbots. So what I recommend is having a conversation AI that not only can book your appointments, but a different one that has a different personality to do follow-up. And I'll show you that in a second. So great, always compliment. Please describe the personality of a chatbot that will ask these questions, handle these objections, and book appointments for me. Okay, so in the conversation AI, we do not need to give it examples. We're just going to focus on the tones examples and the knowledge examples. So while it's running, let's jump over to ChatGPT. We are building conversation AI in an automation. There is another place that you can go in to build the chatbot on your widget for your website. It's not what we're working on today. So we're going to create a conversation AI automation. So the first thing I need to do is start from scratch. And your trigger can be anything. They text the business, they fill out a form. I have one for stale leads. I'll show you that in a second. And we're going to go, the first thing you want to do, I have seen this done two ways. You can start directly with conversation AI, or you can start with a qualifying yes/no question. So if we're starting with a qualifying yes/no question, it does lower the cost. It is cheaper to send a regular text than conversation AI. And let's say, are you looking for roofing services? So just a simple yes/no question, and we'll build that. Then we'll need to add a wait for response. So we're going to click wait, and we're going to instead of time delay, we're going to go to CRM events down below and click contact reply. It will reply to the SMS and click save. Then we're going to set the if else action, and we're going to choose contact reply, and their intent was yes. And we'll change the branch name so I know where I am. I click duplicate. It just makes it easier to find things. Now, no. Okay, so I've set up my if else. And now I have the basic structure ready to build conversation AI. When they say, yes, I want roofing services, I'm going to build a chatbot that will walk them through the conversation of qualifying. So I'm going to go to find conversation AI, and I'm going to turn on advanced bot configurations. This will open you up the personality, additional instructions, and the question. Now, the personality, it does give you a suggestion. You don't have to keep this. It's pretty good. So I would just put in a couple of these tones. So let's say patient and ready to answer any questions. We'll use that one. And we'll use confident but not overbearing. And we will use warm and understanding, concerned about the customer's issues. Also give it a name. Let's call him, I don't know, just Claire is fine. All right. And then for your roofing company, would change this for Roofs Are Us. All right, you can change the objectives. You can edit this as much as you need to. And then personality is done. All right, additional instructions are just some additional things that they need to keep in mind. You can read these and then edit them as necessary. This is where you can put some examples in if you so decide to. And then the last part you need to do is, what is the question? What's really unique about Conversation AI is you don't have to put the exact question into this box. You need to tell the Conversation AI kind of what the gist of the question is. So ask about their roofing needs. You can script a question if you want, but what GPT is going to do, because this actually connects to GPT 4.0, is it's going to take that question and it's going to ask it in a way that makes sense, that sounds pleasant and according to the personality. So let's go back up here and let's go into our qualifying question. This is, what type of storm damage did you experience? So let's start here. Have you had any previous inspections or estimates? Or we can actually start with the storm. So, did you experience storm damage? All right, so it's going to ask something along the lines of storm damage. Don't forget your timeout. So, how long does the client have to respond before it times out? Typically, a day is a good measure. That if they don't respond, you'll have a set of actions, and I'll show you that in a second. And then that's no condition met. The AI will read the response and decide, did they answer this question? Timeout is the timeout time we did here. And you always want to add a third condition. This is your condition met. If they did experience storm damage, yes. And then you tell GPT, how do I know that the condition was met? Person has storm damage. So now when the person responds and says, yes, I had storm damage, it's going to lead them down this branch. If it says, no, I did not get storm damage, it means the condition wasn't met. So go and save that, and you'll see, I need to select the channel. So this is going to be a text message bot. As you can see, you can connect this to your Facebook and Instagram as well. And you'll see I have 3 branches that started. No condition, no, I didn't have storm damage. Yes condition, or timeout. And we can change this to storm damage. I like putting Q1. That just helps me keep organized. All right, so now it says Q1 storm damage. Yes, I will add another Conversation AI. And what's important is you'll see that the same default pops up. So we actually want to come through here and copy the personality so that when we come back to creating other chatbots, we're using the same personality. We don't want to switch it up on them in the middle of the conversation. Turn on your advanced bot configuration and paste in the correct personality. So now we have Claire. This particular chat section might have different conversation rules, such as they experience storm damage. We want to prioritize getting the insurance information. You can change all of these. And of course, we at Midas Web are here to help you create these additional instructions. Let's go ahead and create the second question. Maybe it's, what type of storm damage did you experience? ChatGPT even told us kind of some additional instructions here. Our goal is to assess the severity and nature of the damage to help if they need an inspection or full replacement. So I can tell the GPT kind of this is what we're trying to go at, and give them a suggestion to continue the conversation. All right. So let's say we like this one. We'll put this here. Or actually, we'll use this one. We're actually going to use this follow-up. This was a little vague, so I'm going to be a little bit more specific. And I'm going to change this to visible signs of damage. All right, add the condition. Visible signs of damage. And tell the GPT that person described states there is visible damage. And then you would continue to build this out all the way through. Now, what's really awesome that I'm going to show you here is up here, we had to wait for reply. But what if they don't reply? Let's add a timeout and say we waited a day and they still haven't replied. That would fall under the none, did not apply, did not reply, or did not apply or does not reply to the conversation. I can make a follow-up conversation AI. And how I would do that is I would start with the conversation AI. I want to give it the same personality. Oops. Let's go grab the personality. And then we'll add conversation AI. Change the personality. All right. And then down here in the conversation and the additional instructions, I'm actually going to delete this and let the GPT know that the person has not replied in 1 day. Re-engage the prospect and try to book an appointment. Okay. And then we can tell it, ask any relevant question that hasn't already been asked. Now, this is important. I'm going to show you why. Let's go ahead and set the rest of this up. Contact replied. All right. So ask any relevant question. The reason for that is because we're going to call this conversation AI our follow-up. This is our follow-up AI. This is where the beauty of follow-up comes in and becomes automatic. Let's say down here, store of damage. We have a 1-day timeout. After 1 day, if they have not replied, I'm going to send them. I'm first going to create a very short wait time because if you don't, you could end up with something called loop lock, which we don't want. So we're going to very short wait and then add a go-to step. And we're going to tell it to go to the follow-up AI. So now, every time it times out, we're going to go to the follow-up. And the follow-up is going to ask a question that hasn't already been asked. I can copy these actions, copy all actions, and put it on the other timeout. So now I have a follow-up and then another follow-up. And say that I have the follow-up AI having this conversation, I can copy this one more time. And again, if they don't respond, it's going to go back to the follow-up AI. So you get this loop of you're having this conversation, but if they don't reply in time, you're sending another message to say, hey, we're still here. So this is a very, very powerful follow-up system. And what's awesome is this is a booking bot that you would qualify and get to the booking point, but you can create multiples of these for stale leads. So under stale leads, and I did this one too, you can create a stale opportunities pipeline to say they have not been, they haven't moved. Sorry, I'm going to do duration in days. Say they've been in this pipeline for 30 days, then the booking bot will come through. They have changed this to where some of these triggers will run at 8 a.m. in the morning. Trigger runs at 8 a.m. daily. So at 8 a.m., it's going to check, is the prospect stale. And then it's going to run that conversation AI and do that follow up. This is an amazing way to keep track of your stale opportunities and stale leads and make sure that you are moving them through your process as quickly as possible. So that is all the time we have time for today. I hope this was helpful. Please join us for open office hours. Click the link below, and I will see you there. Y'all have a great day.